Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to our platform, Brigadier's Truth Hour with Coffee. Today we shall be talking about the peace talks that were never meant to succeed in West Asia in Pakistan. Last week, for 21 hours, the American and Iranian diplomats convened in Islamabad to avert an armed conflict. Subsequently, they departed without physical greetings, official agreements, or commitments and returned to their respective nations. The global press labeled this effort as unsuccessful. However, the uncomfortable truth remains, that is, the objective was never truly intended to be achieved. This is not cynicism. It is simply what happens when two countries that have despised each other for nearly 50 years sat down to resolve not one problem, but 20 simultaneously while their armies are still in the field fighting with each other. The first natural question that comes to mind is, why Islamabad? Why was Islamabad chosen as a venue? While Pakistan may not be considered a major diplomatic power, it's a country with its own unique challenges. It faces significant debt issues, relies on loans from International Monetary Fund, and balances its relationship carefully between United States and China. Although it might not have a specialized influence over Iranian or American affairs, its position is still quite complex and very, very interesting. The answer, honestly, is that this was exactly the point. The America wasn't looking for a strong independent mediator like Turkey, Egypt, or even Switzerland who might challenge or unexpectedly influence the outcome. Instead, it preferred a venue that could easily be overseen by the Americans. Pakistanis, eager for a goodwill and a chance to shine on the global stage, were very, very happy to stay. The answer, honestly, is that it was exactly the point. America wasn't looking for a strong independent mediator like Turkey or Egypt or even Switzerland who might challenge or unexpectedly influence the outcome, which may not be in favor of America. Instead, America preferred a venue which it could easily be overseen by them. Pakistan, too eager for goodwill and a chance to shine on the global stage, was very happy to step in. When the talks fell apart, the blame could easily be quietly assigned to the host, helping Washington's reputation stay secure. And Islamabad enjoyed its brief moment in the spotlight, and everybody simply went home. Well, let's give some credit to the talks as well. The challenges discussed were truly and almost impossibly tough. Three important issues stood out. First is that Iran's nuclear program. The US wants Iran to permanently dismantle its uranium enrichment capacity. Iran views this program as its ultimate security, the one thing that ensures no one will ever try to overthrow its government. Asking Tehran to give it up from their perspective is like asking a man to surrender his only weapon to someone who has been threatening him for decades. The stark examples of Ukraine and North Korea bear this out. The second is the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway between Iran and Arabian Peninsula through which about 1/5 of world's oil travels every day. Iran sits on its northern shore and has known for a long time that threatening to close it. Iran sits on its northern shore and has known for a long time to threaten to close it or even hinting at the possibility of it as the strongest leverage for itself. When the strait is blocked, the fuel prices soar everywhere from Mumbai to Manchester. Lebanon comes third. Iran insisted that Israel halt its military activities in Lebanon before any meaningful talks could start. However, Israel, for different reasons, had no real plan to stop. As a result, even before the negotiations officially began, they were stuck in a deadlock over a condition neither side was willing to meet. Here is something truly striking about the Islamabad talks. While diplomats were busy on the negotiating table inside, the war was still raging outside. Israeli strikes in Lebanon continued non-stop throughout the negotiations. The number of casualties kept rising, and according to the trusted reports, Chinese military aircraft were landing in Tehran in the quiet of night, bringing in the air defense man-pad equipment to Iran, which even its representatives were sitting on a table for peace talks. The new reality of modern conflict shows that wars and diplomacy occur simultaneously. Instead of waiting for peace talks, both sides often use conversation as a chance to regroup, rebuild their forces, and strengthen their position before the next round of fighting starts. Today, the negotiating table and the battlefield are part of the same space, blending the two together. The honest truth is, things are pretty much staying the same, and that's not all that is bad. Neither America nor Iran is eager for a full-scale war because it would be devastating for both sides. Instead, they're looking for a leverage on or an off-ramp. Just enough pressure to encourage the other to come around the better deal on their terms. So what will probably happen if the talks will pick up again? So what will probably happen is that the talks will pick up again and then stall once more, maybe inch towards slightly, while the lower level conflicts in Lebanon and the Gulf continue. The real risk here is miscalculation. Just one rogue airstrike, a sudden naval clash in the strait that gets out of hand, or a hasty decision driven by anger rather than strategy, and a delicate balance of managing this crisis could quickly fall apart. Islamabad talks weren't a failure. Instead, they highlighted something even more valuable. We are now in an era in which major powers have become adept at managing conflicts. They prefer to keep tensions simmering rather than letting them escalate into a full-blown war while framing their strategies in diplomatic language. The question is not whether these talks will eventually produce peace. The question is whether the world can keep living comfortably with the alternative. Certainly, a second round of discussion is anticipated to take place somewhere around 16th or 17th of April in Geneva or maybe in Islamabad, mediated by Turkey or maybe Switzerland or maybe Pakistan itself. But will that lead to a permanent peace? That's a big question, and I leave it to you on that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining our platform. Thanks a lot. Good day. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Hind ki Sena.
Please like and subscribe.